in sparking the ideas regarding this campaign and this product, so that when you came to the customer, they already have any idea regarding the products and the campaign. So it's going to be more easier for you to preach about this campaign and this product to them. Okay, so for internally, we're going to have agent briefing, that which is where we conducted today. And then I'm going to have a bi-weekly performance chart to see like where we at our campaigns, how many we're selling, do you need any marketing collaterals and all. We're going to assess using via the bi-weekly performance charts. And then we also are helping by spreading the campaigns internally via our OneReach platforms, which is via StaffNet. Also, we're going to present it in SOP as well. And then we're going to distribute this campaign to OCBC staff as well. So based on this internal marketing comms, we shall help you guys to like expand your platforms even further lah. All right, we're also going to have a sales kit, especially for the agents, which we're going to put it in the GEG link as well. And this sales kit is actually very comprehensive, that shall help you understand the product even better and to explain this product to the customer even better. Okay. All right. So next, for the next comms platforms, we're going to have our website as usual. We're going to have the campaign page, especially for this campaign, and then its purpose is to as a traffic landing page and for awareness purposes lah. Okay, so maybe later on we're going to have like some sort of lead generating link that we're going to gather the customer who are interested, and then we're going to resend it back to the agents to like persuade them even further. All right, so we're also going to have digital ads. We're going to activate our digital ads where it is in the form of meta leads form, which the customer will fill in their details. So, and then when we have this lead, we're going to send it off to the agents to like persuade the client lah. Okay, so we're also going to have KOLs activations, which shall help in terms of awareness and to spark ideas and topics within the mass audience lah. We're going to have activation all through this campaign, and this shall help you to like engage with the customer further. Maybe you can use this videos to help to explain to your customer. It can be one of the ways how you can like engage with the customer lah. All right. Also, we're going to activate our CRM platform as well. We're going to upselling this campaign via email and WhatsApp, where we're going to use like all of the
Latin.
Sorry? Is there any question? Okay, let me continue. Okay, so we're going to sell this for the customer that have any existing policy, for instance, motor insurance, travel insurance. We are going to try to push this product as well to them so they can like get to know this campaign and this product. Okay, also we're going to have an additional content all through this campaign period. We're going to have at least 3 to 4 contents per month lah. All right. So as you can see, we have activated quite a lot of marketing comms in order to support the agents to sell these products better lah.
Yeah, so Carmen here from marketing. I see that there's a question just now about the RM30 Touch and Go voucher, whether it's for client or even for agent. So the voucher is for clients, yeah. So our aim for this campaign is really to attract new customers. So why do we give the voucher to the clients and not the agents? I think for the agents, you have a lot of programs running in terms of incentive. And we also see that we have multiple campaigns in last year, right? One of it was the EV campaign. EV campaign, we rewarded customers with a free charging credit, and we see that working very well. I think we've achieved more than 100% of our target for EV. So hence we want to replicate for this home campaign as well. We see that the reward to the customer is really working. Yeah. Okay, we move on.
Okay. All right, so moving on for the next one. Thank you, Carmen, for that explanations. Okay, we're moving on to the next page. Okay, so for the campaign phase. All right, for the phase one, which we're going to focus is more on agent readiness, which we're going to have agent briefing, we're going to have materials on GG Link, we're going to inform our agents via circular, and we're also going to have bi-weekly reporting, as you can see there. Yeah? All right, so you can take notes of each and every date that I have stated that. So maybe like we're going to be like very ready in terms of before the distributions of this campaign soon lah. All right, so for phase two, we're going to have the campaign launch itself. We're going to have a social media disbursement up to 3 contents per month. We're going to have KOLs up to 10 contents per month and digital leads ads that we're going to launch as soon as possible. All right, so I believe that this shall help in sparking conversations and awareness within the social media platforms lah. And then when you approach the customer, it will be easier because they have like, oh, I can recall this product, I can recall this campaign somewhere lah. So it will become easier for you to engage with your customer. All right, so for the phase three, which we're going to have an upselling and sustenance, we're going to do ad retargeting and upselling lah. All right. Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to explain a bit about our features, about Great Home 360 features. If you have any question, you can ask straight away, yeah? All right, so for the first loss basis, okay, so for this product specifically, first loss basis is the most attractive benefits that you can preach to the customer. Customer don't need to calculate full value of their home and contents because of these features. No penalty and under insurance, no depreciations, and claims are much simpler. Okay, what does basically this first loss basis is explaining? Okay, I'll give you a scenario. If you bought a TV, the TV is 7,000 ringgit, and then you buy it in January, and then on October the TV struck by lightnings, and then this first loss basis is basically covering the full amounts of the one that you purchased earlier on January. Macam tu lah. So the customer will have the disbursement of the actual price of the TV, and there's no depreciations and all. Okay, to the next USP. It also covers your home content protections. Okay, so what is the home content protections? It covers our furnitures, your electronics, appliances, everyday items, and around home. For instance, decor, personal effects, and all. So this product I can say is very comprehensive comparing any other product in the market lah. All right. So to the next USP, this product also will cover your worldwide home gadgets always. For instance, if you're flying overseas and then you leave your home, right, and then you leave your laptop because not everyone will travel with all of your gadgets, and then suddenly your home caught in fire. Okay, so by having these benefits, even though you are overseas, all of your belongings, gadgets, and all are stay protected at your home. All right. Okay, so there's much more benefits that there is for the Great Home 360, which I don't have time to explain in details on my one. But if you do have any questions or anything, you can reach out to me or reach out to the product team for a better clarity in terms of the product benefits.
Yeah, so I think for this page here, previously we have agents coming to us to say like, I'm not sure how to sell Great Home 360. It's difficult to sell, right? But these are the 5 points that you can bring to your customer. This is the most attractive benefit for this product. Yeah, so it's a very comprehensive product. So you can just try to sell with these key benefits to your customer. Yeah.
All right, Carmen. Okay, so who are we targeting? Okay, first homeowner with a mortgage-free owner, solar panel owner, a landlord, apartment and condo residents, renters, high to middle income segments, environmentally conscious homeowner, conventional home insurance policyholder, and home renovation enthusiastic. Okay, because this product focuses more on the contents and renovation. So maybe you can like spend sometimes, maybe you can like see the segments that you're targeting for this campaign lah. All right. Okay, next, this is some of the scenario that I have gathered for you, maybe to have like an idea for this campaign and this product. Okay, so Malaysia records the highest number of fire caused by short circuits in past of 3 years. Okay, if you can see this news, maybe you can target like the customers that live in this area that have the tendency like of short circuit. Okay, so that you can highlight to them of our content USP, which is to content protections and renovations, because it is very important, and this is like the cases that always happens in Malaysia lah. All right, for the next case, for flooding, okay, maybe for the Kelantan agents or Terengganu agents, maybe you can like focus on this case because we also do cover for floods. Okay, because like I've lived in Johor, like around the area that frequently banjir. So a lot of these victims are having a lot of problem because every year they have to buy a new home contents. So maybe by having this kind of protection, they can like protect their contents even better lah, instead of like not being protected. All right, so also the last one, there is a lot of homes breaking that happens lately. So maybe you can target these segments, this area, in order to preach this product and campaigns. Okay, as you can see there, you can highlight a lot of benefits from this product as well. For instance, household contents, gadget all-risk protection, and home assistance program. Okay, so soon we're going to have this sales kit to assist you guys in terms of like selling this product. We're going to put it in the GEG link soon. All right, as you can see here, everything that I've stated earlier, informations and how to sell this product, the target audience are inside of here. So maybe you can access it for your better understandings and clarity for this product. Okay. All right. So for this,
Excuse me, can I ask a question here?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm pull up here.
This
Can I ask a
campaign
question?
target, our goal, like I mentioned before, is new customers. Why are we targeting new customers? Is because we see in the past for Great Home 360, there is a retention rate of 86%, meaning all the Great Home 360 policy that we sell, there's 86% that comes back and renew. Yeah. So then that renewal will be with you. You're the agent, right? So at the same time, we have more upselling opportunities. When we have new customers, we can upsell them other products. We can upsell them PA, we can upsell them travel and so on. Yeah. So for this campaign period, it's 1st May to 31st December. So if you see, there's many months to go. In 2025, we did a policy count of only 96. Okay. So 2026, our target is 200. Why? It's because we are really trying to grow our fire portfolio this year, yeah. And then we see, as you can see the news, there's a lot of interest for home protection, especially in terms of content, because of all these issues that are happening around Malaysia. So we can see here that the expected policy count per month is 25. So among all the agents that we have here in this call, our target is actually only 25 per month. If you can see, 117 campaign last year, right? The target is actually 30 policy per month. Why do we put 25 for this one? Is because we are targeting a higher average premium, meaning we are targeting higher plans. Yeah, for all the agents, I think you can target plan 2 onwards. Plan 3 and 4 is the best, obviously the most comprehensive one. If you want to target plan 2, you can suggest to your customers to have add-ons. Right, so over here we have an expected GWP. I think for all agents, I think you focus on the plans that you are planning to sell and also the policy count for your end. So on the right side here, you can see just now represented by Hilal, we have a lot of support in terms of marketing. So for us in marketing, we're actually investing a lot of marketing dollars to push this to help all the agents. That is creating advertisements on social media, because all our customers, everybody is scrolling on social media. We need to be there. We need to show them. We need to meet them where they are. We need to show them our campaign is running. Yeah. And for retargeting as well, for CRM, when we do email to customers, when we do WhatsApp to customers, we're actually targeting the customers that we already have that haven't bought Great Home 360. And all this activity that we do in marketing is to generate awareness, reach more customers to let them know that this is happening. So when you're talking to your customer, they may have already heard about this. Yeah. So at the same time, we are gathering leads for you. So all the leads that will come in, we'll pass it on to the marketeers, they will distribute it to the relevant agents. Okay. Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, please focus on these key plans. So this deck will be shared to all of you, and you can refer to all the information in here. Yeah. Alex, I'm not sure that we have any time for Q&A, but for all the agents, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. Yeah, please drop it in the comments section, and then maybe the team can gather and get it back to us, and we will answer it and can send back in the next circular. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Gavin and Hela, for a very exciting run through on the campaigns, consumers campaign, right? So without further ado, right now, give me some time, yeah. Okay, so without further ado, so I will invite our head of fire, Mr. PG Howe. So he's going to share the wonderful journey of this EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ premium that make it easy for you all to actually promote to your customers. All right, Mr. P, over to you. Sorry, Mr. P, we're unable to hear you. Maybe perhaps that you have not unmuted your mic. Sorry, Mr. P, we are still unable to hear you. Perhaps you may want to rejoin. Yeah, exit and join again. So sorry for this hiccups, right? Because hiccups always happens then. So just give Mr. P just a little bit of time, all right, for him to rejoin these sessions.
Hello. Hello. about now? Can you hear me? All right.
Hi, yeah. Um,
Can you hear me now?
yes, can hear you
Loud and clear?
loud and clear. Yes, very much. All right. All right,
Thank you
so
very
sorry
much.
for a short delay here. So right now, Mr. P, right, going to actually go through this, the session with us this morning on the EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ Premier. All right, thank you very much. So over to you, Mr. P.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for making your time to join this section. And my name is Chiho. I'm currently leading the Fire and Miscellaneous Underwriting function in Great Eastern General Malaysia. Okay, and today I will be taking you through the EASI-BIZ Standard and Premier. The objective of today's section is not just to understand the product, okay, but more importantly, how we confidently position and sell it to our SME customer. And I will keep this section practical and relatable. So please feel free to think about your own customer as we go along, okay? And you also feel free to ask any question either during or at the end of the section. And you may also type your question in the chat box. I will try to answer them as we go along. All right, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to share my slide. Alex, can you make me as a presenter in order for me to share the slide?
Just give me one moment. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jihan, maybe you can try to share your slides again.
Okay. Okay, let me know if you can see my slide.
Yes, we can see your slides right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah. Why EASI-BIZ Standard and Premier is essential for SME customer? Yeah, let me start with a simple question. How many
Sorry,
SME customers today are?
It's not on the full screen mode. Your slides, yeah.
Is on full screen?
All right, yeah.
What
Now we
about
can
now?
see the full screen. Okay, thank you very much, Jihan. Yeah.
No problem. Okay. Yeah. Again, let me start with a simple question. How many SME customers today are truly well protected? Okay. Yeah, in reality, of course, not many. Okay, many SMEs only buy what they think is compulsory, or they buy a very basic fire cover because it is the cheapest option. But their actual exposures are much wider than fire alone. Okay, this is why EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ Premier are important. Okay, they help us move the conversation from a narrow fire discussion to a broader business protection discussion. Okay, for agents, this product is important for three reasons. First, it's relevant to a very large SME market in Malaysia. Second, it helps you to increase the policy value by packaging multiple covers. And thirdly, it allows us to position ourselves as someone who understands the business risk, not someone who only compares the price. Okay, so the mindset for today is EASI-BIZ is not just a product to quote; it's a platform for us to quote our SME portfolio. Okay, just an example: a small printing shop originally wanted only a basic fire. So after a proper risk discussion, the customer added burglary, money, PL, public liability, and the machinery breakdown for equipment. The fire premium was higher, but the customer accepted because the explanation given by the agents linked his transaction to his real operation. Okay, EASI-BIZ standard or Premier. Okay, our EASI-BIZ comes in the two broad forms. Okay, EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ Premier. Okay, when we present this to customer, okay, the easiest way to explain it is like this. Okay, standard give a structured protection based on the name covers and name perils. Okay, whereby Premier give us wider protection, especially under Section 1, because it works on an all-risk basis subject to the policy wording exclusion. So even before we go into the all sections, right? As an agent, we should already understand the positioning. Standard is suitable for customer who wants a practical, more economical package. Premier is suitable for customer who want a broader protection and a stronger peace of mind. EASI-BIZ Standard and EASI-BIZ Premier are customized products by Great Eastern General Malaysia for SME customers. Okay, they are comprehensive business plans with a wide range of protection. In other words, rather than talking only about the damage to breathing and contents, we can also discuss the interruption, theft, money, glass, machinery, liability, and employee-related risk. Okay. This makes the conversation much easier for the agents because instead of arranging the multiple separate standalone towers one by one, we can position EASI-BIZ as a coordinated SME package. Okay. And another important point is that these are the commercial D-tariff products. That means pricing and risk selection are more flexible as compared to the old tariff thinking, so which will come later. Okay, we can tell our customer that EASI-BIZ is a worry-free 10-in-1 insurance solution for small and medium proprietors, from a strata management properties, offices, retailers to a manufacturing concerns. Okay. What customers like to hear like this? You do not have to buy everything blindly. Okay? You can pick and choose from available sections based on the nature of your business. Okay? And the third point is also very important. The rate is based on the risk-based pricing. This means that the quotation can better reflect the actual nature of the risk instead of just relying on the fixed old tariff thinking. Okay? So the practical message to the customer is one package, flexible cover selection, and pricing that reflects the risk more fairly. Okay, so
Chi Hao, we are unable to hear you. There's no sound. I think it could be the reception issue if you are speaking right now. So perhaps that you could join the sessions just like just now you did. Yeah, understand there's no sound. Let's resolve it. It could be due to bad connection. You're very right. Yeah. Wong Fung. Yeah. So just give Jia a bit of time for him to settle this issue and we join the sessions. Uh, Jihao, can you hear us? There's no sound from your end. Will you please rejoin the sessions? And yeah, I think it's hang. The slides are not also not moving at all.
Hello. Hello.
Jihao, just now we can hear you
Yes.
just now.
Yeah. How about now?
Yes, can hear you now.
Okay, thanks. And sorry for the interruption. Alex, could you please make me to be the presenter again so that I can share the slide again?
You're a real presenter. Yes. I think you didn't actually unshare your slides.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Let's try again.
Try again.
I'm still unable to share the slide.
Never mind, Jia, I think what I can do, I can tell
Jihao,
you.
we can see your slides. Yeah, you
Is
just
it?
need to make it full screen.
Okay.
We can see your slide at slide number
So,
8.
which slide are you looking at? Worry-free time, is it?
Yes, slide number 8. Correct. Yeah.
Now I move to
Yeah.
9. Just now we covered 9. Okay. Okay, now we are on slide 11. Are you following?
It's still on slide 8. So I think there's some lagging. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perhaps
perhaps that, yeah. So apologies everybody for a short interruption. Sometimes, it's due to some unavoidable, bad receptions at times, because of Wi-Fi, here and there, all right.
Okay now?
Yes, can see your screen already. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You're in full screen mode
All good?
right now. Very much.
We're at slide 11.
Yes. Slide 11.
Okay. So, I'm so sorry about the interruption. Okay. Yeah. So sorry. Back to slide number 10. Okay. Section 1 of EASI-BIZ standard. Okay. Section 1 under standard is where we start with the core property protection. Okay. This is important because many customers think that business insurance equals to fire insurance. Okay, but the slide sequence will show that the basic fire is only the starting point, not the full answer. Okay, as an agent, we understand this clearly, we can identify the gaps and recommend the right solution to the customers. Okay. So yeah, please pay attention to this slide, okay, because this is one of the biggest understanding points in the market. Okay, a basic fire policy covers only fire, lightning, and domestic gas explosion. For example, gas used for home purposes. Okay, that means if a customer says, "I already have a fire insurance," it doesn't automatically mean that they are protected against flood, storm, impact damage, riot, strike, burst pipe, or many other common causes of loss. So that's why we come into these extra perils under the fire policy. Okay. So our role is to convert the basic fire conversation into a proper risk conversation. Okay. Fire insurance is only the starting point and not the full protection. Okay. So after understanding what a basic fire policy does not cover, okay, we now move into the extra perils. Okay. These are the real life events that happen around businesses and can cause significant losses, even though there may be no actual fire. So when we present this section, connect each peril to local experience, customer relate much more better, okay, when they can picture a real event instead of just hearing the policy terms and conditions. Okay. Aircraft damage. Okay. Aircraft damage refers to a loss or damage caused by an aircraft or other aerial devices or articles dropped from them. Okay. Now, to be honest, this is not the first peril most SME customers ask about, but the values is that it shows how property protection can extend beyond this simple fire. Okay, we don't need to oversell this peril. Okay, just explain that the policy can respond to unusual but sudden and accidental external event of this nature, subject to our wording. Okay. Earthquake and a volcanic eruption. Okay, these slides cover the earthquake and volcanic eruption. Okay, although Malaysia is not a major earthquake market compared to some countries. Okay, so this related scenario can still be discussed depending on the location in concern, okay, especially East Malaysia. Okay, and the important point for agents is not to assume the customer has the catastrophic concern at all. Okay, some clients, especially those with branch operation or specific risk sensitivity, may ask about it. Okay, so explain that this is one of the extra perils that can be considered under the package. Storm and tempests. Okay, now let's talk about one of the common risks in Malaysia, storm and tempests. Okay, so many customers think only fire is important, but in reality, storm damage happens much more frequent than the fire. Okay, so open-sided building risk. Okay, buildings such as workshop, warehouses, or the semi-open structures are more exposed. Okay, so the wind can easily enter and cause roof damage, structural damage, damage to stock and machinery. So for example, a bookshop in Klang with open structure experienced a strong winds, roof was blown off, rain damaged stock and machinery. So the loss amount is 150,000. So without storm coverage, the claim is not payable. Okay. So basically, this peril cover against windstorm, cyclone, hurricane. Okay, and the excess is 1% of sum insured or 200, whichever is lower. Okay, it's very small, and this is minimal as compared to potential losses. Okay. And I would like to highlight the important condition under this peril. So the insurance will only cover the internal damage, okay, if the building itself is first damaged by the storm, okay, meaning roof damage, water enters, the claim is payable. If there's no roof damage and the water enters, the claim is not payable under this peril. So another example, the shop experienced a water leakage during heavy rain, okay, no roof damage, the water claim is because of the poor maintenance, okay, carried out by the client, so the claim will be rejected under this peril. Okay, the key message is that the insurance covers the sudden damage, but not the maintenance issue. Okay. Flood. Okay. Flood is one of the important selling point in Malaysia. Okay, so please don't assume customer understand that flood must be specifically considered. Many still believe flood is automatically included under a standard fire arrangement, which is often not the case. Okay, so when discussing a flood, ask direct question. Has water even risen near your premises? Is the shop in low-lying area? Is the road outside prone to flash flooding? Yeah, so if the answer to any of this is yes, right, then the flood must be discussed seriously. Okay, the most effective message is simple. If the flood is not covered and flood happens, the customer may get zero recovery for the stock, contents, and other affected property. So for flood, we have an excess here, 1% of sum insured or 2005, okay, which is small as compared to the loss. Impact damage. Okay, this cover relates to impact damage by animals or road vehicles, whether from a third party or in some situation the insured own vehicle, subject to the terms and assets shown in the slide. Okay, this is the easier to sell than sound. Okay, just ask a customer to imagine a car losing control and crashing into the front of the shop, glass frontage, wall, and entrance level area. Okay, this is not a remote dot. Okay, so premises near the roads, corner, parking lots, petrol kiosks, okay, and the roadside retail roads are more exposed. Okay, explosion. Okay, this peril will cover loss of damage by explosion in the relevant insured context. Okay, beyond the limited basic domestic gas explosion concept that we saw earlier. Okay, it's particularly relevant where there are boilers, pressure vessels, and gas usage that could create this type of sudden event. So when we present this to the client, right, do not frighten the customer unnecessarily. So just simply explain that some operation involve pressure, heat, gas, and equipment. An explosion is one of the accidental external event that should be considered in the proper property protection. Bursting or overflowing of water tanks, apparatus, or pipes. Okay, this perils is very easy for customer to understand. Okay, because water damage from leaking pipes and tanks is common in Malaysia. Okay, so even without a flood from outside, okay, a business can still suffer a major from water coming from the inside of the building, such as a burst pipe, leaking tank, and accidental overflow. Okay, this is especially relevant for offices with a ceiling system, retail shop with inventory, clinics with equipment. Okay, so where the water can affect not only the contents but also the renovation and wiring. Riot strike and malicious damage. Okay, commonly referred to as MD lah. Okay, so these perils cover against the damage caused by the people during the disturbances and the intentional acts. Okay, first, riot and strike. Okay, this refers to a situation where a group of people act and cause disturbance to public peace, such as a protest, demonstrations, and labor strikes. Okay, so if during such event the insured property is damaged, right, it will be covered. Okay, next is the malicious damage. Okay, this refers to the intentional damage caused by any person with a bad intention. Okay, so it doesn't need to involve a group. Okay, for example, vandalism. Okay, damage to lift. Okay, deliberate damage to the property and acts by disgruntled individuals. Okay, so now the most important point is to remember. Okay, this cover doesn't cover theft, burglary, or housebreaking. So if during a riot, the customer shop is damaged, the damage is covered under the policy. But if the good is stolen, okay, and that portion is not covered under this section. Okay. Lastly, one advantage of this cover is that there's no excess lah. So which means to say the claims are payable without any deduction, subject to the policy terms. Damage by falling trees or branches. Okay, this cover is another good example of everyday accidental property damage. Okay, falling branches or trees can damage your roofing, your wall, signboards, and vehicle parked within the insured area and the external structures. Okay, so in areas with old trees and landscape surroundings, okay, these perils become very relatable. Bush lalang fire. This slide refers to bush or lalang fire. So this may be more relevant for premises near open land, undeveloped area, or roadside vegetation. Okay, the policy wording also reminds us that we need to keep the insured ground reasonably free from lalang and undergrowth. Okay, so beyond cover, so it's also a risk management talking point. A good insurance advice include practical housekeeping reminders to the client. Okay. Subsidence and landslip. Okay, subsidence and landslip relate to loss arising from ground movement. Okay, this is especially worth discussing for risk on slope, near hillside, So in certain development areas, right, or there is a known ground stability concern, okay, most of the SME customer may not ask about this question. Okay, so as an agent, we have to bring it out if the location suggests a potential exposure. Okay, so the value here is not only in the cover itself, but in showing the customer that your recommendation is location aware and risk sensitive. Okay, so for example, a hillside commercial road develop wall cracking and movement after prolonged rain and nearby the groundworks, right? So even if the customer had never thought about the subsidence before, the location itself make the discussion relevant. Okay, extra perils, first loss cover option. Okay, this slide introduces a first loss cover option for extra perils. Okay, some customer do not want or cannot afford to insure the full potential total value under certain scenarios. Okay, so this first loss covered allows the cover for an agreed amount, so that may be less than the full value at risk. Okay, so when explaining this to the customer, keep it simple. Say that first loss is a way to insure for a realistic expected loss amount instead of assuming the total disruption every time. Okay, but we must be very careful on this because this must be explained with responsibility so that the customer understand that if the actual loss exceeds the amount, right, the policy limit remains at the cap based on the first loss limit. Okay. EASI-BIZ Premier. Okay, before I move into EASI-BIZ Premier, do you have any question for FFS?
Yeah, Chiao, there's one question from the chat box. Let me read out for you.
Sure.
I think it's quite a common question, yeah. Damage due to fallen trees. What happened is our own tree still covered?
Own tree, yeah, is still covered under the policy.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think
Hmm.
Jeff has answered the questions right. KL 1945. Yeah, I mean, you can carry on, yeah, Jia.
Okay, sure, thanks. Yeah, now we move to EASI-BIZ Premier. This is the section where we shift our from a practical structure protection to a broader peace of mind positioning. So when we present EASI-BIZ Premier to a customer, I would suggest you to use a language like comprehensive, wider, easier, and strong protection for unexpected events. Okay, customer who value continuity, reputation, and lower uncertainty often respond well to the EASI-BIZ Premier one. Okay. Section 1, okay, all risk cover. Section 1 under Premier is a property all risk cover. Okay, the easiest way to explain all risk to customer is like this. Okay, so instead of listing only the certain cover periods, this policy works on a broader basis for a sudden and accidental physical loss or damage. Okay, so this is very important from a sales perspective. Okay, standard offer, ECB standard often require us to match the event to a named peril. Okay, but premium begins from a broader position. Okay, which many customers find more reassuring. So our sales line here is like this. Premium give a wider protection. Okay, because it's not limited to the narrower named peril approach like ECB standard. EASI-BIZ Premier is a strong peace of mind product for customers who do not want to debate whether an event fits a named peril. Okay, this slide tells us that cover applies to accidental physical loss or damage to the property insured within the territorial limit other than by the excluded causes. Okay, so the customer do not need to have a full legal phrasing. Okay, what they need is the confidence that cover is broad, practical, and designed to respond to unexpected accidental loss scenario, unless specifically excluded. So when we present this slide, okay, keep repeating two ideas: broad accidental loss protection and always subject to the exclusion and the full wording. Okay, but we do not oversimplify that everything is covered, huh? So it's very dangerous. We should say broader cover subject to exclusion. Okay, this is our strategy. And these exclusion slides are quite important, okay, but they should not be presented in a way that overwhelm the customer. Okay, the exclusion listed here include things like faulty and defective design or workmanship, wear and tear, gradual deterioration, corrosion, rust, inherent vice, theft, and dishonesty in certain form. Discrepancy discovered only on stock taking, bursting of water tanks in certain unoccupied condition, and accidental discharge from sprinkler system is specific
circumstances. So what is the best way to explain this? So we should say a premium is broad, but like all risk insurance, is not designed to pay for gradual deterioration, known defect, poor workmanship, or certain excluded situation. Okay, so the products remain powerful, but it's not the maintenance contract and not guaranteed for every possible business problem. So when we sell to customer, we should use the phrase like insurance is for sudden and accidental event, okay, not for gradual wear and tear or known defects. Okay, yeah, this slide continue the exclusions, okay, including the property in the open caused by storm, escape of modern materials, data-related losses from programming or inadvertent cancellation, willful act, cessation of work, delay or loss of market, and consequential loss. So the key here is not turn this to a legal lecture, but how the customer understand the principle. So the principle is that the property all risk is still a physical damage policy. Okay, it's not a cyber policy. It's not a trade credit policy. So and it's also not a fire collapse policy. So it's not designed to compensate every indirect financial consequence, such as a delay or loss of market. Okay. This slide lists down the excluded property under the EASI-BIZ premium, such as money, tax, vehicles license for road use, property in transit, land and certain civil structures, animals and property undergoing process, alteration, repair, testing, installation, or dismantling in specific ways. So again, the practical lesson for agents is this: okay, understand what the customer is actually trying to protect. Okay, if a customer mainly worries about cash, that leads us to a money insurance. If they worry about the products after sale, then it leads us to a product liability insurance. Okay, if they worry about the machinery under the operation, we must discuss the machinery breakdown. So the exclusion here are not the restrictions. Okay, they also guide the correct product conversation. Okay, we should use this exclusion list to redirect our customer toward the correct section rather than ending the conversation. Yeah. So now we move into section 2. Okay, of EASI-BIZ Premier and EASI-BIZ Standard. Okay,
Sorry,
this
Chief,
section is
for a
very
short interruption. There's another one
yeah.
question here, if you do not mind, yeah, to answer for the EASI-BIZ standard as well. It's relating to the falling tree as well. Right now, what if the tree falls on our fencing? So is it covered?
Falls within our fencing, it is covered because I think the question from the so-called audience is that yeah is if the falling tree damage your own property, right? Okay, it should be covered under the so-called falling trees perils. Okay, so I believe he raised or he raised this question is because of the PL cover. Is it? He or she has concern on the PL cover rather than
Lim,
physical
do you
damage?
mind to explain a little bit more
Yeah.
on the question you asked? Maybe in the chat box later, maybe you can unmute yourself to actually, elaborate further so that everybody can hear and benefits from you.
So long your insured property is damaged by falling trees, right, it will be covered under this peril.
All
Okay,
right.
so if you have any other concern, then you can just type in your chat box. I can address it in the later part.
All right. Another question here is actually if customer worry about the wire being bite by mites, any coverage
Oh.
can offer?
Yeah, this is a standard exclusion. Unfortunately, this is standard exclusion under the fire policy. Yeah. So unfortunately, there's no cover for the time being for this sort of damages.
All right. Thank you very much, Chia Hao. Yeah. You may
Yeah.
carry on.
Sure. So inconvenience allowances. Okay, this section is very useful because it shifts the discussion from property damage alone to a practical inconvenience of business interruption following the damage. Okay, for many SME, the biggest immediate concern after a loss is not only the repair cost, it's the inability to operate and earn. Okay, so this section pays a daily inconvenience allowance if the insured property under section 1 is destroyed or damaged. And because of that, the business operation are interrupted or stopped. Okay, so this is a powerful sales point because SME customer think in cash flow terms. Okay, even a few days of interruption can hurt the salary payments, rental commitments, and supplier relationship. Okay, so when we present this, okay, we should say this section helps to cushion the daily pain when a covered property loss interrupts your business. Okay, we should also explain the daily limit carefully because the customer must understand how the benefit applies. Okay, so this allowance is very useful for retail, food and beverage, okay, service businesses or small offices where downtime hurts immediately. Okay, this slide explains the situation where the policy will not pay. Okay, so such as where the business is wound up or carried out by a liquidator, or for interruption caused by orders from authorities due to violation of acts and regulation. Okay, the key message here is that the allowance is meant for a genuine interruption arising from insured damage. Okay, not for the unrelated closure or regulatory breach situation. Okay, so that difference helps to set the right expectation and avoids a misunderstanding at the claim stage. Okay. Section 3, theft, armed robbery, or hold up. Okay. This section is highly relevant for businesses holding stock, merchandise, and movable property, especially retail operation offices with property equipment, portable equipment, and premises in areas with a higher security concern. Okay, this is a very important cover, okay, especially for retail shop, offices, and businesses handling stock or cash. Okay, so what is covered under this section? Okay, this section covers loss of damage caused by theft. Okay, but there's very important condition. The theft must involve visible visible forcible entry. Okay, violent breaking into or out of the premises. Okay, or armed robbery pull up. Okay, without this, the claim is not payable. So, for example, a shop is broken into it at night. Okay, the door is forced open, lock was damaged, item was stolen. Okay, this is covered. But if there's no sign of break-in, the claim will be rejected. Okay, the key message is no break-in, no claim. Okay, so and the sum insured range is from 50,000 up to 600,000 depending on the customer needs. Okay, so we also cover the lock and keys. Replacement of lock and keys is up to 500 ringgit subject to deductible. Okay, I just want to highlight some important exclusion under this section. Okay, internal theft by employees, family members, or anyone lawfully inside the premises is not covered. Okay, so for example, if the staff steals the stock from warehouse, this is not covered under burglary, and this falls under the fidelity guarantee cover. Okay, plate glass damage, so it's not covered here and covered under PLICA section. Okay, during stock taking, okay, loss during inventory check is not covered. Okay, unoccupied premises, so if the premises are left empty for more than 90 consecutive days, okay, no cover will be granted under this section. Consequential loss of income or business interruption is not covered. Now we move to money insurance. Okay, this section is especially relevant for businesses that collect cash, keep cash on premises, transport cash to the bank, or rely on a cash transaction as a part of a daily operation. Okay, this section covers a loss of money by any cause while in transit during the business hour between the specific points such as a business premises and bank, and also while money is kept in a locked receptacles or certain machines after business hours, subject to policy terms. Okay, the simplest way to sell this is to ask the operational question. Does the business collect cash daily? Who bring the cash to the bank? And is the cash left overnight? And is there a drawer or safe? So are there any vending or machine collection? Okay, so the stronger the cash handling routine, the stronger the relevant of the section. Okay, so for example, a food outlet manager carried the day collection to the bank after closing and was robbed in transit. So the owner had always focused on fire and content, but immediate pain came from the cash loss. Okay, money insurance addresses this gap. Okay, and this slide continues the money cover details. Okay, including the methods such as repair or replacement of doors, windows, or grills, and the requirement that money on the premises should be kept in a specific secure condition that the premises should not be left unoccupied beyond the allowed period. Okay, the sales lesson here is that money insurance is not just about buying a section, it's also about demonstrating the reasonable care and proper security practices. Okay, so sorry. So when you recommend this section, always ask about safe, drawers, banking routine, and how long the money stay on site. Okay. The exclusion also include the fraud and dishonesty by directors, partner, and employees, loss due to accounting errors, shortages discovered only during checks, okay, mysterious disappearances, and loss by ordinary postal transit and consequential loss. Okay, the principle is quite straightforward. Okay, money insurance is not designed to cover the internal dishonesty under every circumstances. Okay, bookkeeping errors and unexplained shortage without evidence of an insured event. So if the customer real worry is employer dishonesty, right? So then this naturally leads us to a fidelity guarantee covered, okay, later in the package. Plate glass, okay. This may sound minor at first, but for many SME, especially retail and customer-facing businesses, a glass frontage is visible and expensive asset. Okay, this section covers the loss or damage to fixed glass indoors, windows, or display cases at the insured premises due to accidental breakage, subject to policy terms and conditions. Okay, and this is a very easy to position for shops with a large glass frontage, cafes, salons, clinics, boutiques, and the businesses in small and commercial roads. Okay, so customer may think it's only glass. Okay, but once you have factored in the thick temper panels, okay, the branding firms, fittings, and urgent replacement needs, the cost can be significant. So our selling point is that if the business depends on the glass frontage for presentation, customer access, or visibility, plate glass should not be ignored. Okay, so just for example, a salon front glass panel cracked after an accidental incident. So the repair require custom size replacement and temporary closure of the entrance area. So the owner only realized that the cost was far more than a small maintenance issue. So for plate glass under the EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ premium, the sum insured range is from 10,000 to 200,000. Okay, depending on the customer needs. And this slide lists down the exclusion such as the breakage traceable to construction or structural alteration, settlement, or expansion of frames and a pre-existing damage. So the key point is that plate glass insurance is for accidental breakage, okay, and not for a long-term structural defect and existing condition problems. Okay. Okay. Now we move into fidelity guarantee. Okay. This section is highly relevant for businesses that trust employees with stocks, payments, procurement, collection, or access to goods or record. Okay, so this is particularly valuable because many SME owners worry about the external theft, okay, but underestimate the internal dishonesty risk. Okay, this section covers a very important but often overlooked risk: employee dishonesty. Okay, what this cover is about is that this cover protects the business against the financial loss and the loss of the goods or property caused by the fraud and dishonesty committed by the employees. Okay, just a simple explanation to a customer. This protects you from your own employees. Okay, so a case study. A cashier slowly takes the cash over a few months. Okay, and the total loss can be 20,000. So without this cover, there's no claim. With this cover, the claim is payable. Okay, so the important condition is that the act must occur during the period insurance. Okay, happen while the employee is still employed and be related to the employee job duties. Okay, a simplified version. So the employee must still be working and the act must be related to their job. Okay, and the discovery period is up to 12 months after the employee leave or policy ends. Okay, so if the fraud discovered 6 months after the employee resigned, it's still covered under the FG section. Okay, and the sum insured range is from 50,000 to 500,000. Okay, now let's look at what is not covered under the fidelity guarantee section. Okay, one employee, one claim. Okay, multiple fraud acts by the same employee are treated as one claim. Okay, for example, is the employee steal the money over the year? Okay, we will treat it as one claim. Okay, so the key message here is that multiple acts committed by the same employee equals to one claim. Okay, and the errors and unexplained losses due to mistake, accounting errors, and unexplained shortages are not covered under the FG section. Okay, the key message is no proof of fraud, no claim. Okay, so the account mismatch with no evidence is not covered under the FG section. Stock taking loss. Okay, loss discovered during a stock take is not covered unless it's clearly proven to be fraud. Okay, so which means to say missing stock during inventory, if there's no proof, it's not covered under the FG cover. So this protects you, your business from dishonest employees, but proof of fraud is required. Okay, so this policy covers proven fraud, but not for the unexplained losses. Okay, so just to let you know, FG is not about the trust, but it is about protecting your business from hidden risk. Next is machinery breakdown. Okay, this
Sorry
section
for interruption. There's one
Yeah.
question relating to the just now the sections, right, on the fidelity guarantee. So actually, it's a quite common question, so I think you explained, but I think it's good just to to actually emphasize again. He asked how to prove, when the loss of money due to the dishonesty of the employees.
let me check the question here.
10:22 a.m. How to prove? Yeah,
Opening the chat box. Okay.
yeah, in the chat box. You're right.
It's loading. Bear with me.
It's fine. It's fine.
I saw the question. Okay, basically the question is asking how to prove the FG claim, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, the simple reply would be so when this honest act happened, right? So the employee committed to fraud, theft, and embezzlement, right? So I believe so-called the owner, the business owner should have the record, because the account should be matched, right? So yeah, so if they found out that the so-called the account is mismatched, and of course they will do some internal investigation. Okay, if let's say find out that is their internal staff who committed to the fraud, right? So basically they have to make a police report, okay, and notify the insurers for us to do the further investigation. How to prove it that, of course, we will engage our own adjuster to go in and check the account, okay, of the business owner, okay, and yeah, from there we'll see how to assess the claim. So
All right, there's still another question here. I think earlier on they asked, I think it's from Lai, one of the agents, right? Our house owner have public liability benefit, which cover for our own voluntary causing damages lost to the neighbor's property. So is it right?
our house owner have which cover.
Just drop it upper, then
Oh, yeah.
questions. Yeah.
Yes, the answer is yes, but the condition is that you must show you must establish your negligence. Let's say you did not properly maintain your trees and cause damages to your neighbor property, right? Yeah. So if found that is your negligence, then you will be payable under the PL section of the house owner policy.
All right. Then when you scroll a bit lower, there's one question from Leong Yu. I think Leong Yu Xiang, right?
Mm.
At
Client was advised
17.
on how to determine the sum insured for Section 1 cover office equipment and furniture based on the total replacement cost of all the office equipment or net book value. Oh, okay. We always go by replacement value or reinstatement value, and we don't go by net book value because we understand that when it comes to accounting, right? So that we will probably apply a so-called 10% or 20% depreciation annually. Yeah. So this, sorry, when it comes to insurance, right? So this is not how we determine the value of the asset. Okay, we will probably just based on the actual replacement cost or reinstatement clause of the property itself. Yeah, because to us, there's still value for the asset. Okay, so yeah, but from accounting period, they will simply apply a fixed percentage of depreciation annually. So this is not the case lah. So yeah, in short, we will cover based on the replacement value of the equipment and not the net book value. Okay.
Good morning.
Hope I answered
May
your
I
question.
ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, about this FG, yeah. Let's say I don't have FG coverage. The same thing happened. My clerk has stolen 1,000 ringgit, petty cash. Then, without suspecting her, I just informed the police. The police, after investigation, then eventually cracked the case, lah. You know. So and then, so what's the difference between having FG coverage and without FG coverage? Eventually, I recover my 1,000 ringgit, and the culprit is caught. Well, I just want to know the difference.
When you when you say the 1,000 1,000 ringgit can be recovered or cannot be recovered.
Let's say when there are two scenarios. Okay, the first, it can be recovered. We settle this one first.
Okay.
I do not have FG coverage, but it's recovered.
If you have recovered, means that you don't actually incur any loss, right?
Oh, okay. So no issue, right?
So there are no issue whether you have a FG or burglary policy. It doesn't actually affect.
I understand.
No
So
financial
how
loss.
about when I cannot recover the 1,000, even though
Okay.
and also the case is not cracked, you know, the police cannot find the culprit, and then the truth is I have lost 1,000 ringgit.
Okay, it depends. Okay, then come to your burglary policy. I'm not so sure whether your money policy or your burglary policy actually sorry, welcome to come to money policy. I'm not so sure whether you have a money policy if this is a cash, right? So probably if the so-called the person who committed to a fraud is not identified, right? So maybe you think it could be taken by your customer instead of the internal staff. Okay. So then in that case, it could be covered a money policy. It depends on the situation. Okay.
Okay.
So if later found that it's your internal staff who stolen the money, right? So then we'll check and see whether you have an FG policy in place or not. Yeah. So
If no FG,
yeah.
that means no compensation from my policy, lah.
Yeah, if we found out that is committed by your internal staff lah. If let's say you cannot identify who stolen the cash, right? So probably it will fall under FG or burglary policy. It depends on the coverage.
Okay. So no. What's the difference between the 1,000 ringgit is stolen by my own staff or stolen by outsider?
Oh, if outsider, right?
What's the difference?
Then difference is that FG policy cover the so-called dishonesty act committed by your staff, ma. So that's why I show you the exclusions now. FG covered your internal staff, but burglary or money, okay, exclude your internal staff. Okay, so if let's say the theft was committed by your internal staff, that will be covered under FG policy. But when it come to outsider, like your customer, walk-in customer who stolen the cash, right? So that part will be covered under the money insurance or a burglary policy.
Okay, I would like to repeat what I have understood from you. If I'm wrong,
Sure.
please correct me. Okay, let's say without the FG coverage, and then eventually it was discovered by the police that it was my clerk who stole the money. Okay, so so that means I cannot get the compensation from the insurance company. Am I right?
If you do not have a FG policy with the insurance
Yeah,
company.
that's right. Yeah, then it was the clerk was actually still working in the company, and he stole the money. No,
Yeah.
and then the police proved that he has stolen the money, and then the money he spent or whatever lah. So can I file claim for to the company, insurance company?
If there's no FG cover, then sorry, the claim is not payable under any section of the policy.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, it's 10:34 now. Alex, should we take a break, 10 minutes break, say, before I
Yeah, up to
continue
you.
with
Yeah, I think we
machinery
take
breakdown
10 minutes
section?
break. Yeah, so now it's 10:35, then we shall resume at 10:45. Is it okay? All right, cool. So I will just type in the chat box. We'll resume at 10:45. All right, so 10 minutes short breaks. Yeah.
Next is a machinery breakdown, okay, section. Okay, this section becomes very relevant where the business depends on the machinery, equipment, and mechanical plant to operate, especially in the light manufacturing like workshop, processing, refrigeration, and service operation with specialized equipment. Okay, this section covers the physical loss or damage to the insured machinery or equipment from causes such as defects in casting or material. For the design, faults at the workshop or in erection, bad workmanship, lack of skill, carelessness, and shortage of water in boilers, and other accidental causes not otherwise excluded. So the simplest way to explain this is if the business depends on the machinery and the machinery suffers a sudden accidental breakdown, the financial impact can be serious. Okay, many customers insure the building and stock, but forget that a key machine failure can stop the output, delay orders, and create repair costs immediately. So this action is not only about the machine value, it's about protecting the operating capability of the business. Okay, and the sum insured that we offer is from 50,000 to up to 500,000. Okay, basis on indemnity if the machine is repairable. Okay, so this slide explains that when the machinery can be repaired, the policy pays the expenses incurred to restore the machine to its former state of serviceability, including dismantling and re-erection costs of an ordinary freight and custom duties where applicable. So we don't need to recite every wording detail to customer. Instead, this when the machine can be repaired, the policy is designed to cover the reasonable repair-related costs to put it back into working condition, subject to terms and access. Okay, and this is where the repairs are at the own workshop. Okay, so this explains that if the repair are done at the workshop owned by the insured, okay, the policy can pay the cost of material and wages for the repair purposes, plus a reasonable percentage for overhead charges, subject to the policy wording. So this is useful for business with in-house engineering or maintenance capability. So it shows that the cover can still be relevant even when the insured perform the part of the repair work internally. So another very important benefit, okay, there's no deduction for depreciation or repair parts, okay, meaning all parts replaced, the claim is paid without reducing the value due to age. Okay. However, the value of any salvage will be taken into account. Okay, meaning if the damaged part still have value, the value will be deducted for the claim. So this is the basis of indemnity when the machine is total loss. Okay. So this covers the situation where the machinery is totally destroyed. Okay. In that event, the settlement is based on the actual value with a depreciation from the replacement value of the item, plus the associated items such as the ordinary freight, erection costs, and the custom duties if applicable, subject to policy terms. Okay, and the practical sales lesson is that machinery breakdown policy is not just about minor repairs. It also addresses the much heavier financial consequences of a major loss scenario. Okay. And this exclusion slide includes the excess, damage to exchangeable tools and parts that wear out naturally, losses due to fire and other separately insured perils, and fire con loss, among others. Okay, so again, the principle is very familiar. Insurance cover accidental breakdown, not ordinary wear and tear, consumable parts, or the purely consequential losses. So this helps the customer understand that machinery breakdown complements rather than duplicates other than property and business cover. Now we move on to employer liability. This section is important because every business with employees have a people risk. Okay, even a well-run business can still face the allegation or legal liability arising from employee injury connected to the employment. Okay, these sections basically cover the employer against the employee. Okay, so these covers protect the business when the employee suffers bodily injury or disease arising from their work and during the course of employment. So the simple explanation is that if your employee gets injured and sue you, this policy will protect you. Okay, so for example, a worker slipped and falls at the workplace and sustained injury. So he claims employer negligence. So if the employee is legally liable, then the policy will respond. Okay.
Mr.
And
P.
this, yeah.
Mr. P, sorry, your slide didn't run.
Is it?
Yes.
Where are we now?
It start at the now is at the explanation side. That's how it was at the. Now is at which page? I'm not sure. Now is at the detail. Detail
57.
explanation.
Now it's 53. Is it?
The detailed explanation of employer liability, the limit of liability, all those things. Just now it wasn't.
Okay. Sorry.
Some lagging.
lagging.
Now it's still
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Page 52. Yeah.
Would you mind
Okay,
repeating?
Okay, no problem. Okay, so yeah, this section actually covers the employer and not the employee. Okay,
Sorry, Jiho,
so what is this about?
Hello, Jiho. I'm Mr. Liu from Ipoh. Before you proceed, can you go back to the machinery breakdown? I have a question to ask. Yeah,
Okay.
before the client, they have their own maintenance guy to repair the thing now. So do you need an adjuster?
Oh yeah, of course.
So they will have to wait for your adjuster to check before they can do the repair.
Yes, correct. So any claim arises, right? So the first thing you need to do is that notify the insurance company so that we can make the necessary arrangement to assist the client.
Okay, but how soon can your adjuster go? Because if every minute wasted, then the production is affected.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not at a very good position to answer that question because it relates to my claims department. Yeah, so perhaps I can ask my marketer, who are you? So perhaps you can drop a message to a marketer so that our marketer will respond to you
Thank you.
separately. Okay. So now we are at slide 53. Okay, are you following?
Here is there at page 51 right now. I think there's some
51,
lagging.
Then
Right
just
now,
wait.
yeah, page 53. All right, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I just repeat here. Okay, this section is actually talking about coverage of the employer liability. Okay, it protects the employer and not the employee. Okay, so where is this cover about? So this covers protect the business when the employee suffers a bodily injury or disease arising from their work and during the course of employment. Okay, so very simple explanation. Okay, if our employee get injured and sue us, okay, this policy will cover us. Okay. And for another example, okay, a worker slip and fall at the workplace and sustain injury. So he claims the employer negligence. So if the employer is legally liable, then the policy will respond accordingly. Okay. So this policy only pays when the employee is legally liable. So this way is very important. Okay, meaning that there must be a negligence or legal responsibility. So if there's no liability, no claim can be payable under the policy. So the coverage includes the compensation to the employee and the legal costs and expenses. and the territorial limit is anywhere within Malaysia, and the range of the limit of liability is from 1 million up to 5 million. Exclusion. Okay, contractor employee. Okay, employees of the contractor are not covered. Liability under contract, liability assumed under the agreement is not covered. Any amount recovered from another source is not covered as well. And injury or disease happened outside Malaysia is not covered under the EL section. And there's an extension under the employer liability, employee to employee extension. Okay, this extension covers the situation where one employee caused injury to another employee. Okay, and the injured employee take legal action against the co-worker. Okay, so if one staff injures another staff and gets sued, then the policy can protect the staff. Okay, so why is it important? Okay, so without this extension, the employee being sued may not be protected. Okay, so the key message here is that the extension protects the employees from legal claims by their own colleagues. Okay, clear? Public liability. Okay, this is one of the most marketable sections because almost every customer can understand the idea that a third party may be injured or their property may be damaged in connection with the business. Okay. This section identifies the insured against the legal liability to pay the compensation and legal expenses for the bodily injury to third parties or the loss of
Sorry,
or damage
Mr.
to.
Key, can you move
Yeah.
move next slide? Is start at section yes, thank you.
Okay, this slide, right? Yeah, again, so this section identifies the insured against the legal liability to pay compensation and legal expenses for bodily injury to third parties or the loss of or damage to third party property occurring in connection with the injured business, okay, within the territorial limit and subject to the limit of liability and terms. Okay, so this can arise from a very ordinary scenario. So, for example, a customer sleep on wet floor. Okay, a visitor is injured by a loose pitcher. A contractor property is damaged on site, or operation causes accidental third-party damage. Okay, so when we present this to customers, we tell the customer that public liability is not only for factories. Okay, any business that receive visitors, customers, suppliers, or member of the public should think about it. Okay, and these are the exclusion under the public liability section. Okay, property under the care, custody, or control. Damage to property owned or under your control is not covered. So which means to say customer item damage while in your custody is not covered under the PL section. Damage caused by vibration or weakening of support is not covered. Insurance cover liability, okay, not the workmanship. That's why own workmanship is excluded under the PL section. Motor vehicle, aircraft, water vessels, cranes, hoists are not covered because they have their own respective insurance to cover. For example, motor should be covered under the motor insurance. Yeah. Next slide. Okay, these slides include the products related concerns for food and drink supply free of charge and not consumed at the pre-insured premises, professional liability or indemnity, pollution or contamination in certain forms, fines and penalties, punitive damages, and consequential loss.
Chi Hao, sorry, I
Yeah.
think your end there, the slide is a bit lagging. So do you mind if I share the
Lagging.
slides for you? Help you to navigate, it's easier.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Look
let me
and
just
share.
share the slides. So it's actually page 57, right? Okay, can. So you can enter your slides, then I will share mine, your version
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
I've unshared.
Share. All right. All right, so Shell, can you see the slides? It's actually on the page 57, right?
Yeah, you can move to
Yeah.
58.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, now it's actually page slide 58.
Are you sharing?
I guess I'm sharing already. Can you see?
No. What about others?
Can others see? Okay, let me reshare my slides to see whether you're able to see. So I'm actually sharing slides
It's
58
loading.
right now. Yeah. Okay, anybody can see my slides? Maybe you can just give me emoji.
Yes,
Chia,
you
can
can
you
see
see my
your
slides?
slide, Alex.
Can
You
see,
can see your
All right.
slide. Yep.
Thank you very much, yeah.
不要出去了，哎呀，用耳机把它弄爆。
Sorry, Chihao, I'm not sure whether are you speaking, but there's no sound from your end.
公给我拿一下。
Yeah. Can you try to speak again? See whether we're able to hear you. Agent, sorry for again a short interruption. Chia is having some technical issue from his end, right? Just give him a moment for him to rejoin the session, and we shall actually continue with the the rest of the slides. All right, thank you very much. All right, just a friendly reminder to everybody that every year that there's an e-learning need to be done, which is make it mandatory. However, for this year, right, so we have only make 2 e-learn as mandatory for new agent, which is PDPA plus the PIDM, all right, that's required by PIDM. And the rest are actually non-mandatory, compulsory. Just take it as the recommended refresher. In fact, if you want to or like to gain the CPT points, right, you can also complete the refresher e-learning for refresher, as well as for you to gain some good points on the CPT. All right. So let me check whether.
Alex, I'm here.
Yes, can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You
So
move
now,
to slide 58. Yeah.
yes, nice. Yeah. All right. So I'm actually on the slide 58. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, sorry, just continue. Yeah, this slide was actually talking about the exclusion related to product. Okay, concerns for food and drink supply free of charge and not consumed at the industry premises, professional indemnity or liability. So pollution or contamination in certain form, fines and penalties, punitive damages, and consequential loss. Okay, so the key lesson is that public liability is broad and useful, but it still has a boundaries. Okay, so if the customer actual exposure lies in a product liability or professional negligence, we must discuss the correct section or separate solution for the customers. Next slide, please. So yeah, finally, we move to product liability. And this section is especially important for manufacturers, importers, distributors, packers, and business whose products may cause injury or property damage after being sold or supplied. Okay, next slide, Alex. And these sections cover the legal liability to pay compensation or damages and associated expenses where bodily injury or property damage is caused by the product sold. supply, repair, auto, install, or distributed by the insured. Okay, subject to the territorial and jurisdictional limits of policy terms. So the simplest way to explain this is that public liability, PL, mainly deal with an incident arising from our business operation or premises. Okay, while the product liability deals with the incident caused by the product after it has left the customer hand. Okay, so for any customer involved in making, importing, distributing, or supplying products, this is a key compensation. Okay, so for example, a product supplied by a business later caused damage at the customer premises after the delivery. The event no longer related simply to what happened inside the insured shop or factory. So it became an after-sale product exposure. So which is where product liability becomes relevant. Okay. So next slide, Alex. Yeah, so this slide lists down the categories of the excluded products, such as a certain domestic and pharmaceuticals, motor vehicle related product items or products, aircraft or watercraft products, nuclear related products, toys, road and condoms, and other stated categories. Okay, so the message here is underwriting discipline. Okay, not every product exposure fits automatically into this package. Okay, so before promising product liability, so we as an agent must understand what the customer manufactures or supplies and whether the product fall within the acceptable scope. Okay, so we always ask a question: what exactly do you manufacture, import, and distribute or sell? Okay, so never assume all product types are acceptable under the standard package product liability. Okay, yeah, next slide, Alex. Okay, yeah. This slide summarizes the package structure and the available sections with policy limit. So the important marketing point is flexibility. So the package starts with a compulsory minimum structure, okay, but additional section can be included based on the customer needs and budget. Okay, so this is powerful because it allows us to view a customer biggest concern outward. Okay, start with a core, which is a fire insurance, then add the most relevant exposure. Okay, so for example, a cafe operator initially wanted to keep the budget tight. Okay, then we as an agent started with the most relevant section: property, money, plate glass, and PL. Then schedule a review after 6 months to discuss further enhancement once the business has been established. Okay, next slide, Alex.
Sorry, there are
It's the
some
same.
issue here. Give me one moment. Yeah, let me share my slides. All right.
Yeah,
Now it's actually on the tariff versus pre-tariff.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so now we have now come to a most important commercial slide. Okay, the section of tariff versus tariff. Okay, this matters because it affects how we position the product, how we explain the pricing, and how we differentiate the package value in today's market. Okay, previously under tariff, the price is fixed, coverage is rigid, and limited flexibility. But now today, we are in a de-tariff environment. So what does that mean? Okay, it means pricing is flexible, coverage is customizable, and we can tailor solution based on customer risk. So this is a big advantage for you as an agent. Okay, so the key message here is: in the past we sell based on rate, so now we sell based on the value and solution. Next slide, Alex. Okay, all right, everyone. Now we are coming to a very important slide. tariff versus de-tariff product. This is where we as an agent can really differentiate ourselves in front of the customer. Okay, because many customers today are still buying based on the old tariff mindset. Okay, but the market has already moved forward. Okay, so tariff, the traditional approach. Okay, let's start with the tariff first. Under tariff, the coverage is very basic, fire and lightning only. So if we want more protection, we must add extension one by one. For example, flood, storm, SMD. So everything is separate. Everything costs extra. Coverage is usually based on full value basis only. So if underinsured, average cost will apply. The claim will be reduced accordingly. So the simple explanation to customer is tariff is like buying a car without accessories. Everything you must buy separately. Okay. Now we move on to the tariff, EASI-BIZ premium. Okay, the high-end comprehensive solution. Okay, the biggest difference is this is an all-risk cover. Okay, meaning everything is covered except what is excluded. Okay, the key advantage is we no need to add the perils. Okay, one by one, even flood can be covered under a first loss basis. So the key advantage too is wider coverage. The policy includes covers like smoke damage, cold storage, spray or powder spraying, printing risk, and sprinkler leakage. Okay, so it also offers package benefit. Okay, this is not just a fire insurance; it's a business protection package which include inconvenience allowance, theft or armed robbery, money in transit, plate glass insurance, FG fidelity guarantee, machine breakdown, employer liability, public liability. Okay, so the starting line is this is not just fire insurance. This is a business survival package. It's very powerful. So EASI-BIZ standard. Okay, now let's look at the EASI-BIZ standard. Yeah. Okay. This is a mid-tier product, I would say. Okay, and still based on fire and lightning cover, and the perils must still be extended. Okay, but include package benefits like theft, money, FG, MB, EL, PL. Okay, it's better than tariff, but not as comprehensive as a premium. So just do simple comparison. When we talk about tariff, right, it's talk about basic plus manual add-ons. Basic, EASI-BIZ standard, basic plus some package benefit. Okay, EASI-BIZ premium, full protection, always plus a bundle solution. So the question we should ask our customer, if something happens to our business tomorrow, do we just want a fire coverage or a full protection to keep the business running? Okay, next slide, Alex. Yeah. Now, this slide may look a bit technical, okay, but it is one of the important slides for you as an agent, okay, because this explains why tariff is complicated and why tariff is easier to sell and why premium is superior, okay. So what needs to be extended? Under tariff, okay, many situations are not automatically covered, okay. We must extend manually. For example, goods undergoing heating or drying, sprinkler leakage, smoke damage, cold storage, spray painting, spraying painting, okay, printing processes, and hazard keeping of hazard goods, okay. Meaning, if agent or customer forget to declare or extend, the claim can be rejected, okay. So tariff depends heavily on agent knowledge, okay. If you miss it, the customer suffers. EASI-BIZ premium, most of the risks have already considered within the coverage. Okay, we no need to extend it one by one. Okay, only specify the exclusion applies, such as sprinkler leakage during the repair, goods undergoing process, hazard goods keep in the premises. Okay, so instead of asking what to cover, we now ask what is not covered. This is much more easier for customer to understand. When we come to EASI-BIZ standard, the standard is quite similar to tariff. We still need to extend the perils. Still depends on the correct declaration. Okay, so EASI-BIZ standard is an improved version of tariff product. Okay, but premium is a simplified insurance. So when it comes to warranties, tariff, many warranties apply depending on the trade code. Okay, for example, storage warranty, okay, printing warranty, and has storage of hazardous goods warranty. So if the warranty is breached, the claim can be rejected. So the customer normally don't understand the warranties lah. You all know, right? So when it comes to premium, we have a very few warranties. For example, FEA warranty, merchandise restriction for office risk, hazardous goods warranty for retail only. So the key message here is the less warranty, the less chance of a claim rejection. Okay, right. Come back to EASI-BIZ standard, still follow tariff warranty structure. The risk of the breaches is still exists. Okay, clauses. Come to clauses, they are generally similar across all products. Okay, not a major selling point as far as we're concerned. Okay, and come to condition. For tariff products, standard condition more rigid. Okay, come to premium, more flexible, fewer technical traps, and standard similar to tariff product. So in summary, tariff has many extensions needed. Okay, many warranties.
Sorry, Chihao, because just now I have muted all. So do you mind to unmute yourself again?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, in summary, right? Okay, I repeat. In summary, tariff has still have many extension needed. Okay, many warranties, and there's a high risk of mistake. Same goes to standard. Okay, but it's a slight improved version as compared to tariff. When it comes to EASI-BIZ premium, is it simplified, less warranties, all risk concept, easier to sell, safer for a customer. Next slide, Alex. Yeah, and now we move to a very practical select which product to recommend. So this is where you as an agent must make the right recommendation based on the customer needs. Okay, EASI-BIZ Premier, when to recommend. So EASI-BIZ Premier is suitable when the customer prefers all risk cover. Okay, so everything is covered except what is excluded. Okay, no need to extend the perils. The flood can be covered on first loss basis. Okay, accidental damage is covered. Stock can be covered. Okay, this is very important because under the normal conventions, always right, stock cannot be covered. Okay, but under our EASI-BIZ Premier, this is always covered. That's the reason why stock can be covered under the FFP. Okay, so we also offer theft cover up to 600,000 without additional premium charge. Same goes to precast. We offer free precast cover up to 200,000 under FFP. Okay, so of course, higher limit can be arranged by a separate policy. So as I mentioned just now, EASI-BIZ Premier has a fewer warranties. Okay, no standard tariff warranties, only minimal condition apply. So low risk of claim rejection. Okay, business continuity support, inconvenience allowance included. Okay, so when it comes to EASI-BIZ standard, when do we recommend? Okay, EASI-BIZ standard is suitable for more price sensitive customer. Okay, because it's based on tariff. Fire lightning is a base cover, so the perils need to be extended manually and no accidental damage covered. Okay, meaning to say coverage is more limited as compared to EASI-BIZ Premium. Okay, and the theft cover must be purchased separately under the theft section, and the warranties apply. Okay, standard tariff warranties still apply under the EASI-BIZ standard and need to extend or buy back certain coverage. Okay, higher risk of breach if there's no properly explained to the customer. So additional sections. Okay, others covers require additional premium. Okay, inconvenience allowance not automatically included. Okay, so the key comparison is that premium is always concept. We don't need to extend the perils. Okay, lesser warranties, more comprehensive, easier to sell. For standard is based on tariff. Okay, we need more extension. Okay, more condition and low premium, but less protection. Okay, so for example, customer A buy EASI-BIZ standard, then it doesn't extend to certain perils. When loss happen, claim partially rejected. Okay, customer B buys EASI-BIZ Premier, same incident covered under all risk. Result, customer B business survive. So when we recommend to customer, right, do not ask what is cheaper. Okay, we should ask what give a better protection for the customer business. Okay, we as an agent, right, it's not just to sell a policy. Our role is to recommend the right protection. Okay, so if we recommend EASI-BIZ Premier, it means a protection and peace of mind. When it comes to standard, it's a basic and a budget option. Okay, right, Alex, next slide. Yeah, And this is the agent calculator I believe you are familiar with. And if you do not have a copy, right, please contact your respective marketer to get a copy. So basically, this calculator is actually help you to generate the premium, okay, for 3 products. And you go to the next slide, Alex. Once you have keyed in all the details, right, you go to the one more slide. Yeah. So once you have keyed in all the key information, right, okay, there will be a premium column here, which show the differences between the EASI-BIZ standard, EASI-BIZ premium, and the tariff premium. Okay, for you to explain to customer. Okay, I think this is the last. Let's go further down. Next slide. Yeah, this is a summary of the quotation. Okay, once you have keyed in the information, right, this will be the quotation template that we're going to show the client. Okay. Yeah, I think thank you everyone. I think we have gone through the package from the product and marketing angles. Okay. So there's one message I want you to take away today. So do not sell only on price, okay? Sell based on the customer real business exposure and the consequence if something goes wrong, okay? So when claims happen, customer remember who advised them properly. So use our EASI-BIZ not just as a code, but as a professional risk conversation tool. Okay, now I'm open to the floor for question, but before that, let me go through the chat box. See any question for me to address?
Actually, chat box it will start off from 10:45 a.m. by
Yeah, sure.
PG 08878. Yeah, 10:43 a.m. Yeah, you can take it from there.
Okay, give me some time. You're
All right,
lagging.
sure, no problem. Yeah. Hey agents, while waiting for Xiao to actually address those questions in the chat box, right? So concurrently, so we're going to actually launch the polling. All right, just give me one moment for me to just launch the polling right now.
Okay, I start with this question first. Both standard and premium. Both from Miss Law Yin Lee. Okay, both standard and premium plan cover building and contents on first lot spaces. Okay, when we talk about basic fire and perils, right, it must be on full perils. Okay, but when it comes to perils, we allow for first lot spaces. Okay, I'm not too sure whether you are referring to EASI-BIZ Premier and Standard or referring to our house insurance product 360. Okay, because this is a separate topic, so I would suggest you to contact your marketer for better answer.
Excuse me, I cannot open my chat box. Please let me use my chat box so I can ask some question. Please.
Alex, can you check for him? Okay, and now I'll move on to the next question.
I think what we can do, maybe we can go through one by one. As mentioned, the one that you can address related questions on the PG 0878, right? So we can continue to address all those questions. Then later, I believe that you'll come to the questions where I think Wong Fong has already put in the chat box. I think that will be easier flow. Yeah.
Okay, now I move to the next question. A client converted a landed property to be a child development center, conduct occupational therapy. Can they buy the EASI-BIZ? Yeah, of course. If the therapy center is licensed, right, for the client to operate, yeah, then you can convert it to our EASI-BIZ product, okay, for their insurance solution. Measure breakdown. I think I've answered just now. Need the adjuster check first. Yeah, you need any claim arises, you got to contact the insurance company immediately. Okay, so that we can arrange the necessary assistance. If the clinic refrigerator was not properly closed by staff, later all vaccines spoil, does this policy cover? Okay, if you're talking about EASI-BIZ standard, is not because it's not considered as a because this scenario is considered as an accidental damage. Okay, so if let's say it was not closed properly closed by the staff, right? So it's considered as accidental damage. So the scenario could be covered under the EASI-BIZ premium, but and not the EASI-BIZ standard. It's like this one. Machinery breakdown also cover financial loss. Okay, just to clarify, machinery breakdown only cover physical damage but not financial loss. Okay, but if you want to have a financial loss cover, just like a fire con loss, right, you can always adopt the machinery breakdown loss of profit insurance. Okay, the concept is similar to our fire con loss insurance. Okay. Question: if the fire caused by our client air shop for FFE and FFS or house, client A shop and or house can be covered. However, if the fire spread to the next shop or next house, does our insurance cover this? Next scenario. Okay. I answer your first question first. Yeah. So if the fire spread from your house or shop to your neighbor, right? So under the fire insurance is not payable because your fire insurance only cover your own property. Okay. But if you are talking about public liability insurance, right, then we got to go and check, see whether do you actually own any duty of care to a customer or not. So is there any negligence involved or not? So if yes, right, so then the PL will probably respond to this scenario. Okay. So second scenario, also want to ask if neighbor B has or doesn't have the fire insurance, what to be extracted? Yeah, as I said, if your customer has a public liability insurance, it could be covered, but subject to the negligence must be established, which means they've done something wrong, okay, and caused the fire spread to the customer or neighbor of the customer, then PL policy may respond, okay, in that scenario. What EASI-BIZ church member forced and injured? This is a question from Lim Hoi Lai. Can you elaborate more? What is your question? What EASI-BIZ church members forced and injured? I'm referring to the message at 10:58. Mr. Lim Hoi Lai, are you here? Okay, never mind. Then I move to the next question first. Okay, a question from Mr. Kao Pei San. Okay, meaning employer must be sued only with derivatives. Yes, because it's talking about liability, right? So yeah, it would probably involve a so-called the so-called legal action from the employee against the employer. Then the EL will only be responsible. Okay. How about falling signage? Is it fall under PL? If yes, no signage do not have a stop, just hang. The signage, whenever you want to put in a signage, right, you must get the approval from the local council, right? Okay. If this is installed illegally, okay, then I'm afraid that the PL will not be able to respond. But if it's approved by the local council to put on the signage, right, yeah, then any damages caused to the third party, it will be triggered under the PL policy. Can church buy can church buy a EASI-BIZ? Yeah, we do cover church under both for EASI-BIZ standard and EASI-BIZ premium. What is FFS stand for? FFS stand for EASI-BIZ standard. Fire due to firecrackers covered under this policy. Okay, if it's due to the fire and perils, right? Yeah, it will be covered under the policy. In EASI-BIZ premium policy, theft part is stated nil. Okay, is it auto theft cover up to 600K, or shall we put an amount of 100K for theft? If I put 100K in theft column, it's covered. Oh, yeah, you still need to select the sum insured to be covered under the theft section for EASI-BIZ premium. The reason is like this. So if your fire sum insured is only 100,000, right? But we wouldn't actually cover the burglary section up to 600,000. Instead, we will just follow the fire sum insured like 100K. So yeah, so when it comes to EASI-BIZ premium, right, you still need to select the sum insured for burglary to be covered under the policy. Yeah, so we don't allow any amount higher than the fire sum insured. For Great Home 361 house can buy two policies to cover total sum insured content for 400K. Per policy said 200K. Yeah, I may need to check with you, okay, on what basis we need to arrange two separate policy for the contents policy. This is the question from Mr. Lim Kim Chong. So some comment from Assist Advisory suggests to redesign FFS and FFP quotation layout. The font is too small. Okay, noted. Yeah, we see how to improve the version. Sure. The last question from Chen YG. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If employees dies in the company premises due to accident, yeah, if the accident was due to work related, right? Yeah, they can claim under the employee liability. Last question. Okay. Some policy after claim we need to reinstate, some are not. Okay. Just serve as a reminder for fire policies, right? Okay, we do not actually have a clause called reinstatement of loss. Okay, this is actually a condition stated in the policy. Whenever there's a claim, right, the policy should have to automatically reinstate the sum insured after the loss, regardless whether there's a request from the client or not. This is actually a policy condition. So for other non-fire policy, right, is quite optional. So whether the client want to put in this clause or not. But for fire, if talking about fire, right, yeah, automatic reinstatement of loss is not applicable, but this is a policy condition, which means to say any claim payout, we must pass an endorsement to reinstate back the sum insured, okay, to the original sum insured. Okay, I hope I answer all the questions. Let me know if I have left out. Okay, another question from BGL Advisory. Usually client asks how much to insure for building. Do we have a simple calculator to advise the client? For house, right, we do have one calculator. You can go to the PIAM website. There is one called BCC calculator one for house, okay? But for shop lot and the commercial buildings, right, I'm afraid that we don't have any way to guide them on the valuation. But if they want to, they can engage a third-party valuation company to do the valuation for them. In EASI-BIZ policy, what happens if for theft of stock by their promoters? Okay, claimable. Okay, if the promoters is actually getting the salary from the company, right? So the theft of stock under this scenario will be covered the FG policy. Okay, This is a question from Lau. Okay. Another question from Lim Hock Lai. What if the full name worker is not a Malaysian citizen, covered or not under the employer liability? If it is a legal employee, then yeah, it will cover under the employer liability as well. Okay, regardless whether he is a Malaysian citizen or not. Okay. Can share your method to determine the adequacy of the building sum insured. Yeah, as I mentioned just now, for houses, right? We can always go to the PIAM website and look for the PCC calculator and get the estimation of the sum insured. But for commercial lot and industrial lot, right? So we still need to get the valuer, third-party valuer, to provide the valuation. Go back to Lau question. In some business, there will be promoters to help with their sales. Okay. Yeah, I was asking whether the promoter is getting the salary from the company or not. If yes, right, then it will be considered as the employee, so-called employee of the company. So FG will be responsible for such so-called dishonesty act. Lau, did I answer your question? If the promoters is getting the salary from the company, right, then this scenario will be covered the FG, Fidelity Guarantee section. If from the supplier, then sorry, then it's not covered under the FG section already, right? So, but they can always go back to the supplier and get the compensation, right? So if found that it's their sub who stolen the stock. Thank you, Lau. My client, there's one question from Chia. My client only ran the shop, so policy didn't cover the building. In case any fire happen, any effect for the shop content claim? If your client only ran the shop, right, they can always go for the so-called contents policy. You can still offer them a fire policy to cover the contents. Okay, so of course the building will be building insurance will be covered by the building owner, but for your client, right, who just rented the shop, they can just proceed with the fire insurance to cover the contents or the equipment located inside the premises. Okay. Question from Lim Hock Lai. Can still apply for EASI-BIZ if existing policy doesn't allow upgrade for flood?
Sorry, Chiho, are you speaking because we couldn't hear you? Chiho, there's no sound. Maybe you can unmute and speak again. Sorry for short interruption. So give me one moment, yeah, because it seems like Chia Hao side there are some technical concerns. So give us. Oh,
Hello.
yes,
Hello.
now we can hear you. Yes, Xiao, now we can hear you. All right.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Sometimes we do have this delicate issue all the time. At times, because of reception issue that's beyond our control, it's fine, yeah.
Okay. Now, just now I think I stopped at the question from someone who asked whether the tenant can still buy the EASI-BIZ product or not. The answer is yes. So as I mentioned, they still have the content and the stock to be covered, right? So they can always go for our EASI-BIZ product to cover the contents. Yeah. Okay. Then the comment from Assist Advisory, our FFS FFP brochure did not clearly spell the differences between both packages, okay, and the warranties. Yeah, we will look into it, okay, but because we have a limited field under the PDS and the brochure, yeah, so see how we can actually so-called include all the so-called material information in the documents or not. Yeah, give us some time to look into it. Thanks for feedback. Okay, yeah, I think that's all for now. Do you have any other question before we end the section? One, two, three. Okay, if none, then Alex, over to you.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much, Chia, for very insightful information that's pertaining to this FFS and FFP, right? Now, agents, I believe that you've already done your polling, so I will actually leave this room open for another 2 minutes, right, for you to actually, complete this polling. Thereafter, I shall actually, end this meeting room. Yeah. So as mentioned by Jihao, actually this product is a wonderful product because we have the tariff package as well, right? Actually wonderfully designed for customers who actually wanted that particular product. Remember just now, product team has mentioned about segmentation. I think segmentation is a very important point whereby we need to segmentize our customers, right, based on the portfolio basis. Thereafter, we actually, propose a product which is aligned with the expectation. Not so much on the premium, but very much on the expectation what they wanted. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, after agent has completed the polling, then you may just exit from this trading room. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello.
Yes, Wong Fun, is it?
Yeah, just curious. Mr. P, what's your P in Chinese, your surname?
Sorry, I won't be able to tell you because actually Mr. PGX is actually our underwriter for the properties sections. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Still cannot join the chat box.
It could be some setting issue. At times also, some agents encounter such issue.